Okay, so we have quite a bit to get through today. It's kind of combining the two lessons that we have learned and putting it together. So, remember last week you guys did some investigation about parallel and perpendicular lines. So that's what we're going to talk about first. Whoops, wrong button. Okay. So, first off, for y equals 3x plus 2, what's m and what's b? Sam. Good. Okay, so to plot this, I'm going to do my b first, which is at 2. And then from there, what am I going to do? Yep. Right. Up 3 floors on the elevator and 1 to the right. So it brings me to this point. Remember to get out of the elevator. Okay. Hi, girls. So we have this first line right here. Okay, we have this first line. And then for the second one right here, the red equation, y equals 3x minus 2. What's b? What's m? What's b? Other than Sam. Alisa, looking at this equation, what's the m?
-3 and -2.
Right. Okay, so plot the -2 on my y-axis. And then from here, what am I going to do? Yeah. Yeah, sorry. So my slope is 3. So what am I going to do from this point?
Go up
2, 3. And then I have to get out of the elevator.
I'll move to
1 to the right.
1 to the right, sorry.
Right. No, don't be sorry. I want to work with you guys. It's okay. So then I can connect those two dots and draw my my second line. Okay. What do you notice about these two lines? Sam?
These two lines
They're parallel. How do I know? Other than just it looks like. Yep.
the y-intercept went negative, and if you make the y-intercept on something negative and keeps the same slope, it will always be parallel.
That's the slope part. So for parallel lines, can you have the same y-intercept? For parallel lines, can I have the same y-intercept? Can I have two lines that have the same y-intercept? No, because then it will be just the same line. So the key, as Sam said, is that the slope is the same. Okay, so parallel lines have the same slope. Right? So example 2 right here. What about this one? Y equals 2/3 x minus 1. So let's see, I'm going to see who's root rash. Okay, what's my m? What's my b here? Okay, so I'm going to plot the -1 on my y-axis. And then from this point, what am I going to do? Root rash? Do the slope?
Oh, the slope is undefined.
No, this here. So from this point, I'm going to take the elevator.
So you go to rise or run, so you go up 2.
Yep.
Then 3, right.
Right. So it brings me to this point. Okay. Now the red line. Michelle. Yep. Good. Okay, so I'm going to plot the 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to plot the 4 on my y-axis. And then what am I going to do, Michelle? 1, 2, 3. To the right twice. Perfect. Okay. And then draw this line. Okay. What do you notice about those two lines?
They um
They cross, but okay, they cross, but not just if you on the test. If you just say they cross, it's not gonna give you the full mark. Okay, how are they crossing? They intersect, they cross, but there's a particular word. How are they crossing? Perpendicular. What's another word for perpendicular? What angle? What angle is perpendicular? Right angle, right, 90 degrees, right? So this angle that they make is actually a 90-degree angle. So perpendicular lines have, okay, we actually talked about this the other day. What can you say about their slope? What can you say about their slope? Yep. And
when you put something over the top of negative.
negative, right? So have negative reciprocal slopes. Okay, make sure you know this word, negative reciprocal. Okay, so not just negative, not just reciprocal, but if it's 2/3, after you flip it, it becomes 3/2. Positive becomes negative, negative, positive. Okay. So now that we know this logic, we can apply it in any equations. Given y equals to 3x plus 5, can you write an equation that's parallel? So give me one example of a line that's parallel to it. Okay, sure. What's another example? Rizwan? Yeah. All right. As long as the slope is the same, then they are parallel. Okay. Okay. Then Sam, what's an example of a perpendicular line? Plus 5. Good. Can perpendicular lines have the same y-intercept? Yes. Yes. Parallel lines cannot have the same y-intercept, but perpendicular line, they can. Okay. Give me one more. Which one? Can you give me one more? Oh, not 1/4. It has to be the negative reciprocal. X plus 4. Sure. Yep. Okay. Again, as long as the slope is a negative reciprocal. Right? If you're thinking, where did the 1 come from? Remember, 3 is the same as 3/1. So then when you flip it, it becomes 1/3. Okay, so this was actually like last week's. So we're just refreshing our memory about what we learned last week with parallel and perpendicular lines. Now we're gonna apply it to what we did yesterday. So write an equation of a line that's parallel to this and goes through this point. So parallel to this, what does this imply? Sam? Yeah, so m equals 3. Good. So m equals 3, and you have the point -2, -6, which is your x and y. Now, didn't we do this yesterday? Yeah. So what do we need to find the equation? We have m. We need to find b, right? So that's what we're trying to find. We need to know what b is. What did we do yesterday? Yep.
You put the x and the y for the negative 2, -6 into the equation.
Right, into the equation. Y equals mx plus 3. And I'm going to sub in everything. So y is -6. M is 3. X is -2. Okay, and I'm solving for b. Okay, so negative 6 equals negative 6 plus b. So what does b equal? Liana? 0, yeah. Because when you move that negative 6 over, it's negative 6 plus 6. So you get 0. So b is 0, m is 3. What's my equation? Y equal. See. Okay, Sam, what do you say? Okay, so Sam says y equals 3x plus 0. This answer will give you half a mark off. What should it be, Charles? So, Alisa?
Y equals 3x.
Just y equals 3x. That's right. Okay, no plus 0. The plus 0 will give you half a mark off because it's not simplified. Not trying to be that mean. All right. Some grade 10 teachers will mark the whole answer wrong. Okay. So don't lose silly marks like this. Okay. Example 3. Write the equation of a line that's perpendicular to this with the same y-intercept. Okay. So somebody tell me an idea. So perpendicular to this. What do you think is my first step? All right. Liana, what do you think I have to do? 90 degrees, like this, something like this. Okay. So what's my very first step? Okay, flip the m, but can I tell what my m is right away?
Yeah.
Can I? Is this in slope intercept form? No, this is in standard form. So what do I have to do? Change it into the proper form first. Okay, so I can't jump into finding m. So yes, I know I have to find a negative reciprocal slope. So then I have to find a slope here. But first steps first, I have to rearrange this to find the slope. So rearrange this equation. 3x minus 5y plus 40 equals 0. I have to change it into y equals mx plus b form. So what am I moving over to the other side? Nicolin, help me with this one. Rearranging it into y equals mx plus b form. Good. All right, and then? Yep, divide everything by negative 5. So what's my equation then? Y equals? Oh, they're both negative, so it becomes 3 over 5x minus 8 plus 8, right? Because it's a negative, negative, so plus 8. Okay. Looking at this, what's my m? What's my b? Michelle?
3 over 5.
Yep. Good. Okay. So we did so much work. We did like 5 steps of work. Are we done the question? No, not at all. We actually never answered any part of the question. Okay. So now we want the perpendicular slope. Okay. I have the normal slope. So what's my perpendicular slope? So the perpendicular slope, I just use like a little chair like this to show a 90 degree. Okay, so what is my perpendicular slope? Uh, Jacob, if my regular slope is 3 over 5, my perpendicular slope would be Negative 5 over 3. Perfect. Good. Okay. And the second part of it, it says it has the same y-intercept. So what's B? Yeah. 8. Yeah, that's it. So what's my, so I have the two pieces of information that I need. So what is my equation? Y equal, where's one? Right, I was gonna say, if you write this, half a mark off again. Okay, what did you forget? The X. Okay, don't forget the X. The X didn't disappear. Hey, you guys keep making that X disappear. Okay, so you see how we are combining what we learned last week and what we learned yesterday into today's lesson? And that's why I keep saying you have to do homework every day, because if you did the homework yesterday, this will all make sense to you. But if you didn't do any practice, then this is like, whoa, overwhelming. Okay? So that's why it's so important. Any questions so far? Okay. So I would say on the unit test, this is as hard as it will get. Right? If you can do something like this, then you're in good shape. So like maybe draw a star on this. This is as hard as it will get on the unit test next week. Okay. So if you can do something like this, you should be good. Say that again. So the quiz on Friday is mainly based on 7.2. Okay, so but because this is still new to you guys, I don't want to test you guys on something that you just learned. So that's why I'm giving you guys like a few days to absorb what we did on 7.2. Okay, so example 4, write the equation of a line parallel to the x-axis and passes through that point. So example 4 and 5 are a little tricky. Whenever you see like parallel to like the x-axis, perpendicular to the y-axis, these type of questions, the best way to do these questions is to do a simple graph. Okay, these type of questions, you just want to draw a simple graph. That's the easiest way to solve it. It's actually harder to solve it algebraically. So parallel to the x-axis and goes through that point. So let's say here, whoopsie. Okay, so there is my axis, x and y axis, and the point 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5. Okay, I want to draw a line that's parallel to the x-axis. So does that mean I'm drawing a horizontal line or a vertical line? If it's parallel to the x-axis, am I talking about a line like this or like this? Yeah, horizontal, yeah. So I'm just simply drawing a line like this. So what's the equation of that line? Then? Since you have the phone out, I thought I should ask you. Charles? No, I don't need to make it lower. I want the line to go through this point. Elisa?
Y equals 5.
That's it. Y equals 5. See? No math, no calculation. Simple graph, and you find the equation. Okay. So these type of question, it really does take practice because it's not the usual math that you guys have been doing. Like you guys were just taught how to do it algebraically. But with these ones, whenever it says parallel or perpendicular to an axis, this is the easiest way to do the equation. Okay, so let's try example 5 right here. Okay, -4, -5. So that's x, that's y. I wanted to go through the point -4, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -4 and -5 right here. I want it to be perpendicular to the x-axis. So am I drawing a horizontal or am I drawing a vertical? I want it perpendicular to the x-axis. Michelle? Vertical, right. So I want my vertical line to go through this point. So it's going to be right here. That's the only place I could put it. Okay. And so what is the equation of that line? Yeah, Ruresh? Yeah, x equals -4. That's it. So again, no calculations. It's just by a simple graph. Okay. I know a vertical line that goes through -4. And since it's a vertical line, it's x equal. Okay. Any diagonal lines, you'll have to do what we did right here, like with these. But any vertical or horizontal line, this the simple one. Okay. One last example. As I said, I know today's lesson is longer than usual. Right? But one last example. You guys are doing great. Given these 3 points, show mathematically whether the points form a right triangle. Alright, so I don't want you guys to use protractors. We're not measuring it with a protractor, seeing if it's 90 degrees. We are simply uh, showing it mathematically. So how do I show mathematically that it's a right angle? Yeah. Okay, but graphically, I want mathematically. You can find the slopes of all the lines, like draw A, B, and C. Good. And like make lines and see the slope. Right, that's right. Compare the slopes. Compare the slopes. Okay. Uh, in a triangle, how many lines are there? How many? 3, right? Okay, but I'm lazy. I don't want to compare all 3 lines. So I'm gonna actually just do a quick little sketch. So for example, -4 and 7 is up here. That's A. -8 and 0. Okay, that's B. And then 6.5 and 1, 6.5 and 1. All right, that's C right there. So if I draw my triangle, okay, which angle looks like it's the 90-degree angle? First one? A, yeah. So when I check my slope, instead of checking all 3 lines, I just have to check the slope of AB and the slope of AC. Okay, I just have to compare these 2 slopes. Okay, so how long did this little sketch take me? 5 minutes? 5, like 30 seconds? All right. So this 30 seconds may give me a better picture of what I need to do. Okay. So it's okay. Invest in 30 seconds on the test. Do a quick little sketch, even though I know in the question I didn't ask for it, but a little sketch always helps. Okay, so the slope between AB. Okay, what was the formula again? For slope, calculating slope.
M equals y2 y plus y1
Plus?
minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Right. Okay. So if I write it out, x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, I can sub it in. So y2 is 0, y1 is 7, x2 is negative 8, x1 is negative 4. So I get 7 over, negative 7 over negative 4, which gives me, which simplifies to 7 over 4. Right? Okay. Now I do the same thing with AC. So now with AC, whoa, bless you. So with AC, I'm going to call this my x2, y2. Right? Doing the same thing. So y2 is 1, y1 is 7, x2 is 6.5, x1 is negative 4. Negative 6 over 10.5. Okay. Good. Yes, I can. All right. So I don't like, as you guys know, I always say fractions and decimals, they don't mix. They are rivalries. Can't put them together. Two different ways you can do it. What can I make this fraction bigger?
Yeah, you can multiply both of them by 2
Yeah.
to get rid of the 0.5.
Yeah. So if I times everything by 2, what does this become? Negative over 21. Oh, but then can I reduce this? Yeah.
So minus 4 over
Oh, now what do you realize?
negative reciprocal.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a very tricky question because of the decimal right here. On the test, I'll probably give you guys like nice whole numbers instead of something like this. But I did wanted to show you guys this, like how uh, a decimal fractions, you can still make it into an integer fraction, and then you can still reduce. Because right here, notice I know I'm supposed to see a connection between them, but I don't see any connection. So, but then when you like think outside the box and do this, you see that they are negative reciprocal slopes. So therefore, what does that imply? Therefore, it's right. Looking at the question, it was asking, is it the right triangle? So therefore, triangle ABC is a right triangle. Okay, or you could say something like point ABC does form a right angle triangle. Okay. So great job. As I said, today's lesson is longer than usual. It's about 30 minutes. Um, there is quite a bit that we went through today. If you do need a refresher, I am uploading this onto YouTube so that you can watch it again. Today's lesson, some people will need to watch it twice, okay? And it's very normal because it is one of the harder lessons. So for your homework tonight is these questions right here. Not every single question. So 1, 3, 6 to 10, and 11 on the next few pages. Okay, so you don't have to do every single questions. Take a look to see which ones you have to do. Okay. And then again, answers are on page 20 for you guys to check. Okay. Tomorrow we will do the last part to finish off this. Okay, we'll finish off the package tomorrow. Thank you.